More than 2 decades in prison for murder has been cleared of the crime, how the charges were dropped, and what our 11 Investigates team knows so far. And a man dies while in custody of the Lucas County Sheriff's Office. We're learning what happened in the moments leading up to it.
We're dealing with some rain showers across the area tonight. Next system comes in Wednesday into Thursday, leading into Thanksgiving. Could bring a rain-snow mix to the area. Wet roads for area travel. We'll pinpoint that and when it turns much colder in my 10-day forecast coming up.
Thanks for joining us here on WTOL 11 News on Plus. I'm Kaylee Marin-Tet. Let's take a look at your top stories for this Monday night. For more than 30 years, Toledoan Eric Mish told everyone who would listen that he had nothing to do with a 1992 killing. This morning, a court agreed, completely clearing Mish of the crime. Lead investigator Brian Duggar was there and has the story.
On December 9, 1993, a jury rocked Eric Mish's world, finding him guilty of helping to beat a man to death in the summer of 1992.
Honestly, everything went numb. Everything was like, I guess it was like you can't hear nothing, or, you're just standing there like, I didn't know how to react. It was just.
But this morning, instead of shock, there were hugs as Judge Gary Cook dismissed all charges against Mish. Outside the courtroom, Mish celebrated with his family.
It's a big burden off my shoulders. I feel like it's like really a breath, like I can finally breathe, and I don't have to go and say, I don't have to ask a parole officer, can I leave the state?
Nearby, Willie Knighton also celebrated. Knighton understands Mish's frustrations and relief. He was pardoned by Governor Mike DeWine in 2022 for a 1996 murder conviction.
It's a great day, especially for Eric Mish and for all those that's coming behind him with claims of innocence. We're thankful for the prosecutor's office for seeing the truth, and we believe that a lot more will come out shortly.
In June, Judge Cook granted Mish a new trial after it was discovered hundreds of pages of potential evidence were never turned over to defense attorneys or even the prosecutor. Multiple Crime Stoppers pointed to other suspects in Huggins' murder.
There's one specific document that I think was, the most shocking and the most impactful. And I remember getting to that, and am I reading this right?
An hour after the hearing, Mish and his attorney, Joanna Sanchez, sat down to discuss that document, an interview with Huggins' uncle, and the entire legal journey.
While those individuals were there at the uncle's house, they confronted Vernon over some money he owed them, and one of them was carrying an object that's consistent with what the suspected murder weapon was. And what's critical is that this all took place hours after the state had claimed Eric and his co-defendants had committed this murder.
More than 30 years later, Mish still remembers the lonely first night in prison.
A lot of crying. A lot of crying. I struggle with my belief in God. It's why? Everybody was always asking why. There's always a purpose. My mom always taught me, God's he ain't gonna put something on your shoulders you can't handle.
And now he's hoping he can keep others from losing the faith.
I just hope that people can keep faith in themselves, that they're truly innocent, and they know they are. Just keep faith, have faith in God. For real, I struggled with it, but I'm starting to see that he really has laid out a path for me.
Police officials say the village of Delta has decided not to charge Delta High School principal Doug Ford. Ford is accused of strip searching a student last month. The student's mother complained to the school's administration and took to TikTok, claiming the principal instructed her son to remove his pants after he concealed a cell phone in his waistband. The Pike Delta York local school district told WTOL 11 earlier this month they found no wrongdoing by Principal Ford. After being arrested for a domestic violence call on Friday, a man died while in custody of the Lucas County Sheriff's Office. An official with the sheriff's office says there was no contact between officers and 58-year-old Rashid Mustafa, and he did not resist arrest. Mustafa was transported to booking, but near a secure building entrance, officers noticed he was unresponsive. The Lucas County Sheriff's Office says officers administered 2 doses of Narcan, which Mustafa did not respond to. Officers reportedly performed CPR and EMS took him to a hospital. That's where he was pronounced dead. The Lucas County Coroner's Office released a statement saying the cause and manner of death are still under investigation. Students interested in a career in the military or as a first responder will now have a new option when it comes to college: tactical strength training. Sophia Periconi has the story.
It's the first of its kind in the state of Michigan, a new major that focuses on the strongest of athletes.
Many of our students come here and they think, oh, strength and conditioning and performance enhancement, that's going to be football and basketball and lacrosse and rugby, but there are many other athletes out there called tactical athletes.
Tactical athletes, those are military, police, and fire personnel. And now Adrian College's new tactical strength and conditioning major will prepare students to train and help them in the field. Tina Claiborne helped develop the one-of-a-kind program.
We have our first class called the Tactical Athlete. We have a strength and conditioning program design and a strength and conditioning foundations course, which really sets students up to take the national foundation exams.
Tactical strength majors will learn what it takes to be part of an active duty team. They'll experience how physically stressful it is on the body to then train and recover the fittest of the fit. And the education stretches beyond campus.
The latest and greatest research to help people recover and thrive is what we're looking for.
Chris Anderson leads human performance for the Marine Corps at Quantico and will be one of many professors with hands-on experience in the field.
What you're going to learn in this tactical environment is how the body reacts to stress under load, running with a pack, body armor, and learning how to shoot. So how do you manipulate your job with a pack on? And how do you stay alive? And how do you treat others?
He says it's all to give back and serve those who serve our country.
The ability to give back to your country is actually a selling point for a lot of people. And instead of joining the force yourself, help those that are in the force. Stay healthy, stay in the fight, recover.
Here in the Glass City, if you have any plans to head to downtown Toledo, the Craig Memorial Bridge will be closed today and tomorrow. The closure is so that crews can survey and inspect the bridge. ODOT officials tell WTOL 11 they have plans to work on the bridge in the future, but that data needs to be collected before plans can be set.
We know there was some frustration out there because we did have to have ramp closures, but that is a big deal. Being able to switch that traffic is a major milestone in that project.
ODOT officials say southbound and northbound will remain open to 2 lanes only. Crews are still working on the left lane in median for the next few weeks. It's unclear when the 3rd lane will be open. Well, if you're planning to get on a plane and travel in the new year, you'll need to make sure you have a federally compliant ID. You'll need to show a passport or an enhanced driver's license by May 7th of next year. The new form of ID comes from a set of standards created by the 9/11 Commission. It takes the place of regular driver's license and comes with a new application process. If you're confused on what you can use, you can show an enhanced driver's license, but it has to have a star on the top right corner. If you don't have that, you have to update it. You can also show a U.S. passport, a foreign government issued passport, a border crossing card, or a permanent resident card, also known as a green card.
Really, the difference is how you acquire it, just the way you have to prove who you are and your citizenship, basically. So, before we have 50 different states with 50 different rules attached, and, every state is just a little bit different. And this way we have one set of standards nationwide.
TSA officials say they will not require anyone 18 and younger to show an ID. Let's get a check now of your forecast. We're going to switch gears, heading to Chief Meteorologist Chris Vickers. Chris, what's it looking like there out tonight?
A little bit of wet weather across the area. It's going to be generally light rain that does come down between now and daybreak. Tuesday will be gone by daybreak as a cold front will flush through. That'll set us toward breezy and much cooler feeling weather. So some occasional wet weather while you head to bed tonight and into early Tuesday morning. Temperature-wise, really at the warmest point of the day right now, low to mid 50s, even upper 50s across the central part of the viewing area. area and southbound toward BG and into Findlay. What to anticipate as we get to Tuesday? We're going to start the day much cooler and breezy, mid to upper 30s. Notice the raindrops are out of the area. We're only going to reach into the low 40s into the afternoon, and it will stay gusty with that breeze through the afternoon. Hour by hour forecast. There goes the rain chances out of the area tonight. We're drying out through daybreak. The breeze is going to be gusty, up to 30 miles per hour as we go through the afternoon Tuesday. Nice little window of dry weather Tuesday into early Wednesday. Next system that works into the area, and we're highlighting this because you're probably getting your Thanksgiving plans together. Rain late Wednesday night into Thursday begins to mix in with some snow. These will be wet snowflakes. Now, I don't have much of a concern for any significant accumulations. Much of this will be melting as it falls. So roadways, for the most part, expected to stay mainly wet as we go into Thursday morning, although you could wake up to a fresh coating of snow. Elevated surfaces, grassy areas could get a dusting to a half an inch of snow as we get into Thursday morning. So Thanksgiving Day, upper 30s, rain snow mix first thing in the morning that will taper off into the afternoon, but be prepared for this much colder weather. And I've got a big time cool down that's going to be headed our way in our 10-day forecast. Frigid cold weather as we go Friday, Saturday, and into Sunday, and it is going to grip much of my 10-day forecast. Near 40 for Tuesday, lower 40s Wednesday. Rain chances are going to be back in there Wednesday afternoon and evening. Mixes in with a few snowflakes Thursday morning. Look at how cold it's going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Highs close to, if not below, freezing. And that will come with some occasional snow showers. And early next week, still staying cold that first full week of December. Highs will be below average, only in the lower 30s. That's a look at your 10-day forecast. Kaylee, back over to you.
All right, thanks, Chris. More than 400 Thanksgiving meals were boxed up this morning. Volunteers at the Islamic Food Bank boxed up the meals, and 90 of them were given to Helping Hands of St. Louis to hand out. Those meals were given to families. They included pie, turkey, and of course, some sides.
It makes me feel good because to know that they're going to be able to go home and have food put on their own tables, be able to get together with their families and just enjoy the time.
The distribution today is a collaboration between Helping Hands and Islamic Food Bank, as well as United Way of Greater Toledo and Grace Community Center. We have compiled a list of free Thanksgiving meals being handed out in the area. All you have to do is text the word meal to 419-248-1100. That number is also on your screen, and you will be sent a list. If you are in an organization that's giving out free meals, text your information to that number, and we'll add it to our list. As Thanksgiving rapidly approaches, it's always a good time to consider why you're thankful. On Leading Edge, WTOL 11's Jeff Smith shares 3 different stories about giving thanks across Northwest Ohio as we head into the holiday season. One story centers around an administrative assistant at a fire department whose positivity shines brighter than the negative things that life can throw her way.
I've always enjoyed going to work. It has always been a place that I did not mind getting up and going to every day.
Jeff is here now with us. Jeff, I know you were excited about this Leading Edge when you filmed it.
I reached out to Chief Armstrong and I said, do you have a story of giving thanks? And she goes, no, but I know somebody who might. So Adrian, who you heard from right there, has been with Chief Allison Armstrong at the department for 13 years, a relationship there. But what she goes on to tell us during the course of the show, talking about not only dealing with cancer, but also some other things that had befallen her family. And it's just like this 1, 2, 3 punch that impacted her. But yet, as you heard right there, the positivity just sticks out. Other 3 people who we have on the show, Caden and Tanya Laney, they are both involved with, Caden he's had 2 open heart surgeries. We've done multiple stories on them.
Yep.
But Toys for Tiny Heroes is the organization that they both put together. This is their 6th year for bringing these toys together, and it's all for kids in local hospitals. And then we also hear from Robert Pownell, wanted to make sure I got his last name correctly. He is affiliated with the program incorporated here locally that takes fatherless boys and basically